guys? It says here on my current Madman, and today we are here with a podcast like none other, the Madman Podcast. I'm here with CMoney and Doodle.
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going, y'all?
Going well.
Yes.
Excited to be back for another
Madman Podcast.
Look at that. In sync.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah. So on the screen right now, for those who can see it, we have Vampire Survivors up and Doodle.
Yes, that's me.
We just did a Doodles Never Have I Ever. That should be up by the time you guys are hearing this, if not shortly after, of Vampire Survivors.
Yes.
And just to give you a little spoiler, she was hating.
Yeah.
She was hating pretty hard. I'm not going to lie.
Listen.
You guys couldn't see the faces that I saw, but they were there.
Oh, you mentioned them.
I brought them up. But
As
I think
you
at the
can
end of the
see,
day,
graphically, is not calling you, right?
and until
But-
now, when she sees it, she's like, "Oh, now that I've played it,
It looks good.
amazing."
Oh,
now.
I didn't say amazing. But I did have a fantastic time playing the game.
Yes, you did.
I
Yes.
judged a book by its cover.
You did, and I had a fantastic time watching it. To be honest with you, it was really
I think
good.
I think some unexpected things happened while playing. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
it's
you guys should
definitely a
check it
banger.
out for sure.
You should check it out. We also have another Doodles Never Have I Ever. Is in a similar vein of when we did the Quarry. We started the Dark Pictures Anthologies House of Ashes.
We did.
So are you guys going to do basically another mini-series, or are you going to flip-flop around?
It's not like the whole point of Doodles Never Have I Ever is not that we're just going to start something and play it to the end. It just literally depends on the game.
Well, the
and
Quarry was a
felt.
very unique situation because it just kept calling us back. Like it literally,
I guess
it
that's
was
the point,
such
right?
a good game.
Like if you like the game enough that it makes you want to continue playing it.
Yes, I did say I'm not completely sold on this one.
Even if we play this one
And
again, doesn't mean you have to commit
we
to do
did
it all.
say that, you guys might need to give us a little push if you enjoy the gameplay and to see if you guys want to see a little more. So check it out and see if you like it.
Yeah,
But
we'll check it out.
game-
I think
the
she
game was
wants,
all right.
The
game was all
I think
right.
she likes it enough that we'll give it another round, right?
We'll see CMoney.
Well, there's the
That's what
Devil
you
Inside of Me
literally said.
coming out, which is the next
Literally said,
Dark
we'll
Pictures
try it
Anthology installment.
What was
So-
that, Madman?
Say that again, bud.
The Devil Inside Me is the next Dark Pictures
That's the
Anthology
one. Devil
installment.
Inside Me. That's the one we're gonna play for sure when it comes out.
Oh, that's a new one.
And the new one. Yeah,
Oh, their newer one?
their newest one. So
Yeah, the fourth
the
one.
Quarry is the last one that came out. But
Now,
like I told
when
you,
did the
when we were
Quarry?
playing-
When was
The
the Quarry
Quarry is not a
released?
Dark Picture Anthology installment.
Yeah,
It's just
but it's the same
Quarry.
people. They're
So it's from the same makers, but not the same
I'm aware,
type of
I'm
game.
aware.
yeah.
So the Quarry is like suspense.
Yeah, well, they're all suspense horror. It's just how much they go
How
into.
much horror?
Yeah, it just depends on how far they go. I mean, it's called The Devil Inside Me.
Yeah, I think
Not like The Princess Inside Me. Or like The Wind
Madman.
Beneath Me. It's
Have
like
you
The Devil.
ever played any of their games?
Until Dawn, I beat. That was a great game.
Yeah?
That's it.
So this was Quarry was like a spiritual successor to that. These
Yeah,
same people
essentially.
made that game. So
I'm aware. Supermassive.
so
right?
they are like basically the masters of this craft. Again, I don't
Whoa,
know how
whoa,
they
whoa.
don't get.
I'd
I don't
argue
know how
that
they
Quantic
don't
Dream
get-
is better.
What?
I played Until Dawn.
Bro, Quantic Dream. They make one game every 87 years,
87. Whoa.
and
That's a
realistically
long
speaking,
time. See, money. I don't even think they were making video games
Okay.
87 years
point
ago.
is like Indigo Prophecy. That was like a cult classic. It was fine.
Fine.
Nothing
I mean, Heavy Rain
crazy.
was a great game.
Heavy Rain was pretty good. It was
Pretty good.
it was just unique for
I feel
its
like I've
time.
heard that name
Bayonetta,
before. Heavy
no,
Rain?
Beyond's was just okay. That was like
Beyond,
a meh.
yeah, Heavy Rain. It was a good game, but like it's just more for its time. It was a good game.
Well, Detroit it's still a great game if you ask me.
Oh, they made
Detroit is a good game
Detroit.
too, but that like that their they do different types of games. Like they're very different. First of all, it's not horror or suspense.
I know, but they have like the narrative.
Is that Supermassive? They're masters of this craft of making these horror titles, these suspense titles, and they bang them out. It's pretty much every year they've been coming out with a new game since they started the Dark Anthology, and they've been really good each one. I mean, critics, feel a certain way about different games and what they expect from games, but Man of Medan was really good. Little Hope was really good.
House of the Ashes.
House of the Ashes we started. I like it. Doodle's getting into it, so we'll see how that goes. The Quarry was really good, and now we got The Devil Inside Me coming. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they're doing pretty well.
Well, all right.
So we got to put that one up soon. So that one's the House of Ashes, the first playthrough.
I don't know, CMoney. Why can't you think of some lighter names for these games?
I'm not coming up with the names. I'm not coming up with the names, but it's a certain type of game that they make that's a cool game to play. It's a great experience with multiple people watching it because it's like a story. You kind of talk back and forth about the decisions you're gonna make.
Yeah.
It's fun. You get excited, like, oh, press the button. Like it's fun. It's good stuff.
All right.
yeah.
Well, Madman, what you got for us? Do you have any juicy topics?
So juicy, it's basically leaking juice. It's insane. So, Elon Musk, we all heard this maniac bought Twitter. Well, yes, he bought it and he's doing crazy stuff to it. He slashes half the workforce, fires dissenters, and pursues new subscription products and models for Twitter to make back the money he spent. Now, it's very decisive, the new verification system for Twitter verification. You pay $8 a month for verification, and now, celebrities are leaving Twitter, a bunch of people are leaving Twitter, and people are taking the identities of many innocent people, not just people, companies. In Nintendo of America, there was a huge thing where someone tweeted Mario flipping us off.
Oh my gosh, I saw that, yes.
And people going as LeBron James and a bunch of other famous celebrities and companies and posting a bunch of nonsense that it's a little left up, but it's all verified, so everyone thinks it's a real person. So it's a mess right now. You go to Twitter, you're going to a war zone. It's ridiculous. So yeah, what do you guys think?
I mean, I could tell you as somebody who uses Twitter, I mean, that's all as far as what I experience on it. Pretty much overblown because I use Twitter the same way I used it the day before Elon took over. So use it identical right now. Nothing has literally changed except that now I have a blue, now I'm verified. Which I appreciate. So all this, fear mongering that's going on, and listen, I can appreciate all these people who like to criticize and think, Elon is so stupid and he's so incapable of running this company. Meanwhile,
he's had the money to buy
it. He paid $44 billion. Now, I know the way the world works. Poor people think they're smart, so they know better than everybody, apparently. But I don't know. I
think people just like to judge.
I tend to think that maybe somebody who's reached certain statuses in the world and come across
deserve a little respect, right?
Just a little bit, the benefit of the doubt. I would say
everyone's just upset about the $8 fee. I think that's the problem over here, and everybody's
that's the reality of what
annoyed about it. If celebrities are leaving Twitter, aren't they always leaving Twitter and social media, and then they come right back to it?
Most of the celebrities are not even actually doing it.
Yes. They pay somebody to do it. So, I think that is ridiculous to think that he would spend that amount of money to buy Twitter, and that now he's losing.
Destroy it.
Well, that he's losing full control of it, and he's just gonna lose that money, right? We can't think that that's literally how it's gonna go down. If he was in any way fearing the situation, he will try to get things under control, and he seems to just keep running with the plan that he's had.
Yeah, he had a plan.
He seems to not care about any of the nonsense going on around him, and he's firing people. He's got his $8 fee, and I can't imagine that anybody with that amount of money who's willing to pay that much for something it's not being careful as to the decisions that they're making and where they're going to lead to.
Listen, obviously he has a view. Now, the beauty about having $44 billion is that when you choose to spend it, you get to use the view that you have for the company that you just purchased.
Of course.
Right? So everybody has publicly seen Twitter. And let's call it what it is. Before Elon bought them, people had a lot of beef with Twitter and the way they did things. This is not brand new stuff. He just was somebody who used to talk about the changes that should be made. And he was the only person who said, you know what?
Let me do what
be
I'm
the man to put them in place. He already told his investors previously that he didn't think Twitter needed that many people employed there to run Twitter. Okay. There were 7,500 people that were working on Twitter. What the flying fudge does Twitter put out? What are they doing every day? What are they doing?
What
Twitter
is happening on Twitter that we need 7,500 employees?
Product.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, that's a lot of people.
A lot of money
doing
going out.
God knows what. Right? So he said it right off the rip that he believes that he could run Twitter with like 25% of the people who work there.
And he did fire a lot of people. And I'm sure that he wanted some of them to just pick up and go on their own. So he doesn't seem like,
Let's call it what it is. Twitter was just like all these other places that are all like free flowing and, oh, I love working here. I don't have anything to do. So I make money. So I'm happy. Right. And Elon, having just spent $44 billion,
he
doesn't
wants to
feel
know,
like paying for people to sit down at a computer
he
to
wants to
pretend
know
click
what
the
you're
keyboard
doing to
and do
earn
nothing.
that money. Yeah.
So he fired the people who were not necessary right off the rip. And then he sent out that letter, which I don't know if you mentioned it, but he sent out a letter to all the employees, basically letting them know that the road going forward is going to be a road of work. That they're going to work hard. They're going to work long hours. They're going to make Twitter what he believes Twitter can become.
So essentially what he's saying is you're going to be working from now on. Are you up for the challenge? If not, pack up and go.
Yeah. Which is a fair thing.
Yes, it's fair enough. I mean, people don't like change, especially when change is coming in saying, hey, you're going to have to up your work
It's
load.
refreshing in a world of where the work culture is such a big thing, because I can tell you right now, I've never worked somewhere where we were talking about work culture. This is, you go to work to do the job.
Yes, and do it well.
You don't go to work to
take breaks,
socialize, do all this stuff. Now, is that a byproduct of being next to people every day? Yes, you will inherently socialize with people, but that's not what you're paid to do, right? Like, that's not the goal there. So at the end of the day, he is taking over. And he wants people who are there to hustle, who want to work hard to make it happen.
What do you think about this, Madman?
I gotta say that, like, I don't know, it's effed up because, like, it must be hard being an employee that you're just working a normal day, then you just see Elon Musk kick down the doors, and he's like, listen, I'm running things now. You all better be ready or be in for a world of pain and just get out, basically. Like, they really have to be up for the challenge, and I think Twitter's been in a comfortable place, and now he's really gonna shake things up. He's gonna really shake up the whole building. Let's just say that.
So what do you think about it? Because I feel like
I think that this is a good thing. I think it's a good thing. Change is always good. So I think that giving Twitter a new direction will be refreshing for its future and give it a new, almost redefinition. And more people, while there's a lot of people leaving now, a lot of people will now be interested and will inevitably want to join the Twitter fandom.
Well, let's call it what it is. The people who want to work hard and hustle, they're going to look at this as an opportunity.
They're
like, oh, cool, yeah, get out of here, big guys who've been there for a long time.
Yes.
I never had a chance to shine because you were there. Guess what? Yeah, get the fuck out. Because now I'm going to work hard and I'll get noticed and I'll rank up.
Yes.
It's
a new opportunity for
Absolutely. There's going to be plenty of people who
shine.
see the opportunity. It's the people who were just coasting, right? Who were collecting a paycheck.
On their own, and obviously those are also the ones getting fired.
He fired the people he needed to fire.
Mm-hmm.
After that, the people who are left, he is telling them very simply in an email, if you're not down to work hard, leave. And I will give you your severance package.
I mean, fair enough, right?
He's not saying you're going to get fired and we're not paying you shit and we're going to fight you. He's saying, listen, we're going to walk away as friends. You leave, you're going to get paid your severance package for whatever it is, 3 months or however much it is, and go find another job.
Yeah.
Because this job, even though it was comfy and cozy and so easy for you before, now it's going to be a real job. And if you don't want to do that, go work somewhere else.
Listen, if that doesn't show you that Twitter is in for big plans and a lot of changes,
I'm excited for it.
Then I don't know what will, because he's literally getting the roller coaster ready to hit.
So check this out. We have our small channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Mario Kart Madman.
Uh-huh.
YouTube is dope,
Yes.
but it's super like congested,
Mm-hmm.
right? Bunch of people all there. There's so many people with so many millions and millions and millions of followers that you
Yes.
like. It's an uphill battle,
Yes.
right?
And everybody does different. It's like a bunch of different things.
And this is the same
Yes.
thing with Instagram, right? TikTok. These places, they're engaged already to the point where you have to like hustle. And I mean, obviously it's always a hustle, but you really have to hope to just grab some attention, right?
Yes.
Like we talk about video games, we talk about entertainment. Well, you have obviously huge companies out there who talk about entertainment and video games. You got huge YouTubers who already exist who talk about video games and entertainment, right? So you're basically starting something and saying, well, how can I get some of those people to, once they finish watching that, say, all right, well, I still want more. Let me click on your channel, right?
Exactly.
Like that's a hard thing to do. But that's because so many people are engulfed already in that idea. Now, Twitter has the ability to transform into something just like that. It's a social network.
That's
There's
very true.
a bunch of people here. So if they put a bigger focus on video content, which is something that they are going to be doing, like that was one of the big things that they want to do a push for. If they do focus on that and they create a viable platform with payout and they undercut YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers.
Yes.
What if they don't? What if they say, you know what? If you have 100 subscribers, you can start making something. There's plenty of ways for Twitter to try to do something different and stand out in the social media game. And smaller entities like us, because the big guys, they're not going to want to move, right? Because they're not going to, how they're going to get 17 million people to swap over to follow them here, right? Most people won't. Most people are where they are, right?
Yes.
But if we can take Twitter and form a small thing, just like Twitch, right? Twitch is a streaming platform that their focus is streaming video games, right? They do other things now, but they're playing a game. They have a camera on their face. People watch them play the game. They talk to them on the chat while they're playing. They interact, right? Well, Microsoft they bought a company called Mixer.
They did.
That was the same thing. It was the same idea. Yeah, it was. I don't know if you remember.
No. I'm not saying like
Man.
they did. Like they did. I remember.
Yeah, they did. So it was a while ago now, years ago. But they did that, and there was people who only streamed on Mixer, who got big on Mixer, who weren't big on Twitch, because they created their own following in this niche market, in this niche area, and they became big. Now, ultimately, because the platform didn't grow enough, Microsoft said they're not going to keep investing in that. They shut it down. After they really did a big push, they paid millions and millions of dollars to big YouTube, Twitch streamers to come over there, and they did, and then they shut it down, and they still paid them. Like, it was crazy. But the point is that creators were able to create a little niche there. Same thing here. You never know what they come up with on Twitter, and being already here, already ingrained a little bit, where you can start, pushing your product here and start trying to grab attention here. You never know.
Well, I'm excited for what's to come, because it's always good to freshen things up and see what someone else can bring to the table.
Competition is king.
Twitter it's okay, and it can get boring. So I'm glad that he's going to make some changes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it all depends on how far he goes. But I can just the fact that immediately what he did was say there's not going to be a world where there's haves or have-nots. We're gonna level the playing field. That blue check mark, you're verified. If you have this program, if you get part of the Twitter Blue, you can be verified too. You pay your little fee, and you're in.
I love
That is a big change.
I love that celebrities are probably leaving because they don't want to pay the $8.
Yeah, right.
They're like, F that.
Yeah, I mean it's so ridiculously dumb that people are really like, if this is something that you engage in often, like this is like you're on Twitter every single day of your life, it's not worth $8 fucking
you
dollars.
brought up a good point where it's like, why do you have to be a freaking celebrity to be acknowledged or recognized as,
bullshit.
This is this person? You know?
I agree with you for sure, because that's a verification that you are that person. So if Tommy McFly wanted to go on Twitter, anyone could be Tommy McFly apparently, because he's not a real person until he's got 1 million followers. So I agree with this change. Let's see how far Elon Musk actually takes it. He did spend $44 billion on this after all, so he already has to have some faith in this.
He came in, he ruffled some feathers, and he is not apologetic about it. So he's got a plan. He knows what he wants out of this.
But he's also not being like a dictator. Like
I don't think so. I think people are looking at it that way. But
he's being strong with the people who work for him. He's also out there. He was doing a Twitter space where he was out in public talking just amongst, and anybody could go in there, and he's talking, and there was like a moderator who was asking him questions, and people could have raised their hands to ask him questions, and he was saying things like, a lot of these things we're trying things, and sometimes it's not going to work, and we'll try something, and if it doesn't work, we'll pivot, go somewhere else, try something else. If that doesn't work, we'll be fluid with it. But he's like asking people, what do you think we should do?
Yes.
Like, what would you like us to do?
He Twittered that out.
So it's like, come on, man.
The situation is, I think, some people still work hard, but I think we've gotten comfortable with the idea of like hard work not being necessarily something that, it's what it used to be, right? Yep. So for him to want to pay you and see the work and have you work hard, I mean, I don't think that makes him a bad guy.
Well, I mean, look, the reality is that the people who use Twitter the most, right? The people who are there all the time, one of two things. One, it's part of your job, right? So you're constantly marketing and trying to get your name out there, or keeping yourself relevant and doing those things, or you use Twitter to get business and things like that, right? So it's part of your job, so that's why you're on there all the time. Or you don't have a job, or your job is very nonchalant or very lackadaisical, or you're very low on the totem pole, so you have plenty of time to sit there and engage. I check my Twitter often, every few, whatever I can go scope on it. But to sit there and just constantly be on it, that's like, it takes a lot of time to do that. You know what I'm saying? So look, I have hope. We don't know for sure what's going to happen, but I have hope that just like it has Tesla and he's made big moves to get electric cars and self-driving cars where they are today, and SpaceX and all these other things that he's, really put himself behind. This is not he spent $44 billion. The guy's going to try to figure something out. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think there's anything to figure out. I think he already has an idea of where he wants to go.
Well, it can all fall apart, so he still has to have like alternative vision.
I mean, everybody's
it's already in existence, though. It's not going to fall apart.
Yeah, I know. Everybody wants to like pack up their bags, and it's like,
yeah, like
calm
what do you think is going to happen? Like,
yes.
Twitter is working identical. Like I said, I use it the exact same way, except now I have a little mark and I have another search option. I have a little perks and bonuses that I get, but it's nothing crazy. It's just slightly different.
Listen, people leave, people come in all the time, right?
Yep.
So just because some people are signing off from Twitter, it doesn't mean that it's going to be the end of Twitter.
Now, there's people who are Twitter famous who have a lot of followers on Twitter, but they're only famous through Twitter, like having followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
They're not going to abandon ship and say, you know what, I'm going to start at 0 on this other site. And hopefully I can convince all those people to come follow me because, you know, I'm the only person they followed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that.
So.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
Fun times. Good topic.
Yeah, let's just see what Elon Musk does from here on out. As of recording, yesterday, Friday, November 18th, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet released, and apparently they're buggy messes. Yes, the amount of glitches and bugs and a whole bunch of nasty stuff is literally obscene. In Pokemon battles, Pokemon literally vanish in the middle of battle. It's almost hilarious. You fall through the floor if you're just running through like a village or something like that. If you're running in like the wild, you might just start riding an invisible monster of some sort or creature, almost like if you're driving a car, and it's laughably ridiculous. This game is clearly unpolished, definitely not ready to go. It was clearly just released, like, come on, we gotta get it out for the holidays. And it's not in a great state. Review outlets of all kinds have been reporting on this, and even people who, smaller people who just streamed it or played it themselves have reported the exact same thing, and just recorded evidence of it. And this is ridiculous. Guys, what do y'all think?
You want to go first, Doodle?
I'm just shocked to hear this about
Are you though?
A game from with
I guess
this
Nintendo.
much. Yeah, to this extent, to hear this much about something going on with a Nintendo game. It's disappointing. And I don't know why they will rush it. I would have rather they hold the game until it was ready to go.
You know how much money Pokemon makes? They're going to release it even if it was getting like code ones and zeros.
So this is the reality, okay? They didn't all of a sudden forget how to make a game. They didn't all of a sudden forget how to make it work well. This is the reality. The Nintendo Switch is too damn weak to do anything ambitious. They are trying to push to the next level of Pokemon. Nintendo is so caught up in wanting to milk the Switch for every last possible person on Earth that they could convince to buy it, that they don't want to release the damn Switch to, that these companies have to come out with these games. They have to get them out there. They have ambition. They're trying to take Pokemon to the next level, and the Switch cannot keep up with it. What is this like? Our good friends over at Cyberpunk 2077.
Well, what if the game was made for the Switch 2, which is coming out?
No, it's not.
And that's why it's crashing on the old system.
You see, for the next Nintendo console, now here's a fact. They will 110% support this little Switch for many, many, many years to come. The Wii lasted 14 years with continuous support. So I think
No, I don't mean...
13, sorry.
I don't mean that they wouldn't make the games for the Switch as well. I'm saying that maybe the game was built in the new, like...
It's not that simple. You can't just cram a game made for a new console onto an old one. That works when a game was made intentionally for the old system, but then it was so big, they either cancel that version and make it for the new one, or just fucking release it for the original one, then upscale it for the new one, or do what some companies did back in the day with like the NES and SNES, and just make almost 2 different games for 2 different consoles.
Man, we literally have this happen every single day of our lives. I don't know what you're talking about. Every game that has been released for the last 2 years on the Series X and the PlayStation 5, out of a handful of games, have been made for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, as well as the Series X and the PlayStation 5.
I mean, they're close enough in power. I mean, not like
it's really not.
Even the whole...
They're really not. The
I'm going
Xbox is almost 6 times as powerful as the Xbox One.
I'm going kind of based off on what happened to Cyberpunk, right? With all the glitches and everything else.
I feel you gotta remember, these games, they didn't make this game this last year. You gotta believe that Pokemon, the creators who made this game, they're sitting there saying, okay, by the time we're releasing this game in 2022 or 2023, they should have the next Switch out. It has to be, right? So let's plan for it being able to be upgraded to the Switch 2 version. but they obviously going to make it run on the Switch. That was never in question. But the problem is when you have ambition and you're trying to push past it, dude. This is the power level of the Xbox 360.
Whoa, it's a little better than 360.
Okay,
but
you
it's
just
less
said
than
the key
Xbox One.
word, a little better. So again, it's at the power level of a 360 that came out in 2005 that had parts from 2003. We're almost 20 years after that point, and they're still asking people to make games on that system, on that power level. And yeah, you can do it. But if you're a company like Pokemon they're trying to push the envelope, they want to go into next gen. They want to make Pokemon different and evolve it. Well, like they're still literally having to deal with the limitations of a 2003
Can you
system.
imagine
Just look at
catching a Pokemon and then it just disappears? I'll be freaking pissed.
Just look at
I'm gonna
Pokemon
catch that
Legends
Pokemon is
Arceus.
gone.
God.
Earlier this year, there was Pokemon Legends Arceus, a game with so much potential. And the game itself was still really good. However, the frames were choppy and the world just looked so almost like polygon, so blandish. And I can't blame them. It's because it's that Switch. Like it runs on milk jugs, empty milk jugs. Like come on. I understand that. I imagine that realistically, the next big Nintendo console will probably have the power of, say, an Xbox One X and a PS4 Pro.
I mean, even that would be decent if that's the case. Like that would be better. And especially considering that at that power level, it's actually gonna be more like it'll actually be more like an Xbox Series S. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna focus on 1080p. It's not gonna be a big 4K system.
Now, don't expect a Series X or PS5 quality. That's
no,
not
I said Series S.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying
the weaker one.
That's not happening.
The one that's on the level. The S is on the level of the Xbox Series X minus the Xbox Series X, the Xbox One X having a weaker CPU.
Series S is like the stretch goal. It's like, you can make it. You can do a little more,
Sure
you got Series S quality. Look at you star, sort of thing.
I'm pretty sure they'll be able to get there. At the end of the day, the reality is that we're seeing the limitations of the Switch. And it sounds like a broken record now because I feel like this is something that we're constantly talking about. But yeah, I mean, do you have anything to add, Doodle?
No, I just think that potentially they just made this for the new system.
Well, I mean,
I don't think it was made for
it's not
it.
for it. They had it in mind. Because they're obviously it's not out yet, but they did. I believe it's like the Cyberpunk situation where they have the ambition to be at a better system, but they're putting it out on the lower systems.
I agree. Public prosecutor's office arrested 57-year-old game creator Yuji Naka in context of insider trading related to its new installment from popular Dragon Quest franchise. Essentially, he's been doing shady stuff behind the scenes. He's been working with Square Enix after the mess that was Balan Wonderworld. And believe it or not, his arrest had nothing to do with that, which that game alone should get him arrested. But no, he's been doing some shady stuff behind the scenes that he's not supposed to. And now he's facing the birdhouse. What do you guys have to say?
The birdhouse.
Damn.
Well phrased.
I guess, shady people exist everywhere.
Yeah.
He obviously wasn't great at making games anymore, so he had to find another revenue stream.
Another source. That's crazy. It's because, like, how do you mess up your life like that? Like, he'll be remembered and known by this moment right now. I
mean,
I don't think it's not big enough that it'll be like, oh, the guy who got arrested, yeah, that's the guy who made Sonic. Like, I think that he is credited enough that you probably just think, oh, he made Sonic.
He got arrested.
I mean,
for doing shady-ish. I think that may be something that people remember.
I think this is going to be like the game of telephone, where right now he got arrested for insider trading.
Yes, and then they're going to start.
Years from now, they're going to say he got arrested because Balan Wonderworld was so bad.
It's true.
That it was a crime against humanity.
That's messed up. No, I think that's just the first thing he got arrested for. Once there's like a route of shady stuff, they're going to keep digging, and I'm sure that there's a lot more.
That's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
Well, sucks to be him.
That really stinks.
It really listen, if this was like his first shady thing he's ever done, That would really suck to like get caught on that
On
one.
the first try,
So
you
I
loser.
kind of like, as much as it's like,
Now remember, Sonic.
Damn.
This is a great year for Sonic. Like there was not only the Sonic the Hedgehog movie 2 that came out. There was Sonic Frontiers, which is
Yes.
the best Sonic game in a while.
Yeah, but
And there's
he's
also-
not making money off of Sonic anymore.
Of course. I mean, I'm sure he has some.
No, he didn't. He didn't make this game.
No, I mean he has the rights to the character. I mean, Sega.
No, he does not have the rights to the character.
I mean, he created the character.
He created the character
should have some
for
royalties.
no. He created a character for Sega.
Of course, I
Oh,
know.
Sega
like under-
owns Sonic. He doesn't have any
Yeah.
ownership of Sonic. He just
so
has the ability to be known as the person who created Sonic.
this
But
is
that's
a
like
situation.
Metal Gear Solid, right?
our
Kojima
boy
doesn't own
Kojima.
the rights
Yeah,
to
but
Solid
this
Snake.
is a situation like the Disney and the Nightmare Before Christmas. Like Disney and Nightmare Before Christmas with the
Tim
whole
Burton?
movie. Yes. He did the sketching and they didn't like it, so they
But
voted
they kept
the movie.
it, yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's
if you're
theirs.
working on our time,
Yeah.
we own the stuff.
Welp.
Well,
I mean, I feel bad, but I also don't. But you know what's even bigger than Sonic the Hedgehog? I think that when we think of video games, we think of a medium that can change and inspire. And only the most diehard and hardcore of all gaming fan bases and fandoms in the world will have the attention and the ability to be able to comprehend and play the fantastically insane game that is Peppa Pig World Adventures. It has been announced for all major platforms.
yo, I was in.
You were
I was like, yo, what are we talking about? This is epic. I started seeing like bombs blowing up in the background.
Elden Ring 2 is
Yeah.
confirmed.
Like that military theme, like dun 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 dun.
This was some
Like,
epic.
I was hearing everything
This was an
happen.
epic speech, Madman.
Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig is back. This is for the hardcore gamers.
Yeah, I can
This
see
is
it.
exclusively.
Listen, this is a save your work days so that you can have some time off when this game drops.
Young
Yeah, you
minds
don't
will
know
not be
what I'm
capable
saying?
of processing what they're about to play. It's
Yeah,
insane.
the last thing you want is like know that the people you know are at home playing this game and you're stuck at work because you didn't
Facts,
save your
facts.
days.
So
Thank
the
God it's
question,
coming out next year because it would be Elden Ring for sure and God of War.
yeah, Elden Ring, fucking dodged a bullet with that one. So do we know anything about it? Because obviously the first one came out, and it
Minecraft
was
Peppa Pig,
great
it was a
for
video
the
game.
kids to play. It looked like an
it
episode.
was. It did look like an episode.
Yeah.
So being there, they pick the characters and then kind of go around. You go to the Peppa's house. You go. I sound like I play this shit.
Well, you did.
I
for
kind of
them,
did. I
right?
watched it. Yes, they go to the school. They go to the playground. Like they go all over the place.
Doodles,
And-
never have I ever played Minecraft Peppa Pig.
Yeah, I should do one.
No,
right?
thank you.
Can you imagine?
Why not?
No, thank you.
Well, because we can't handle the greatness that is Peppa Pig.
So
One of the greatest
this.
video
She's
game
already played
franchises
it,
of all time.
so it doesn't count.
Well, I watched
Mhm.
the game, but I didn't play it. So maybe it is destined, Madman. Maybe it
But
is
do they
time.
know? Do we know anything about it? Are
No,
they
it's
going
all we got was a
3D now?
measly
Is it
teaser
going to be
trailer
like?
with literally this fucking pig going in front of a globe and saying, "Hello, my friends. I'm gonna get a new video game." And then it basically just says,
Okay,
"Coming next
Bayonetta.
year, Peppa Pig World Adventures for all
So
major platforms:
this-
PS4, PS5, Xbox
I
One,
think
Xbox
that's
Series
the
X,
difference.
Switch."
It's world
PC.
adventures. So she's probably gonna go not just from her house to the school
To
and
America,
she's going to different
France.
places.
Yeah, but are they going to do flat like before, or
Dude,
are they
it's not
turning
gonna
it
be
same
a
3D?
type.
CG
I-
open world Mario 64 like Peppa Pig experience.
No, from
We're
what
not
I
ready
saw,
for
it looked the same way as the old one. It's just that you
It's a new
get
game.
to
So it's
like
bigger.
A new
Yes.
Instead
plot,
of
a new
going home to
storyline.
grandma's into school,
yes.
you're going to go to
France,
different
they go
places.
to. They go to. I think they
Eiffel
go
Tower.
to Italy. Yes, so they go to see all
In
these
Italy,
places
in Japan.
in the yes to Japan too in the cartoon. So they're
Yeah.
doing that same thing. I mean, good for them. Keep milking it. Get as much as you can. Peppa Pig is huge. I don't mean like in size as a pig.
I mean, she
Yes,
is.
I meant
She-
like-
you know, Peppa Pig is 7 feet tall. You know, right?
I meant like, yes, I've heard of that, but I meant like it's so well known, such a big cartoon, you know? So
Yeah.
why not? SpongeBob gets a bunch of video games.
Yes.
SpongeBob gets a bunch of movies.
I mean,
so why not
Now we
Peppa?
remember SpongeBob That's an interesting one because back then when the show first came out, video games were like promotions. They were no thought put into it other than, hey, slap SpongeBob's fucking face on here and we'll sell 1,000 units at least. And I mean, it worked for a while until 2003, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Battle for Bikini Bottom came out, and that was actually deemed a really well-made game that actually has a lot in common with Mario 64. And it's been a cult classic for many years. And it was brought back from the dead in 2020 and completely remade from the ground up. It looks gorgeous. And now Cosmic Shake is coming out. And now they're treating SpongeBob games almost like how they do the South Park games now. Where like they're treated as full budget, actually hyped up titles that aren't just buy this for the kids. Or in South Park's case, buy this for the grown men that are wanting a video game experience of their favorite cartoon. So, you know.
Now, the collector's editions of the SpongeBob games are freaking epic.
Extremely overpriced, but very nice.
Yes, but I do love the statues, the detail that they put into their collector's edition. You don't see a lot of things for sale of like SpongeBob SquarePants, right?
Yeah.
So it's really cool to find these things. Yes, extremely overpriced though. And going back to like the old SpongeBob games, my favorite one was Truth or Square.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was so good. I played the crap out of it.
I mean,
So good. That's the one where he goes, there's a bunch of
disgusting.
jelly, and he sticks out his tongue, and he just rides down.
Oh, I know.
It's so fun.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Which one? Do you have a favorite SpongeBob game?
This
C-Money?
Battle for Bikini Bottom one that came out was probably the most polished and probably well-made SpongeBob game out there.
Wait, which one? I thought you said the remake, the one that they
The
remade.
remake, that one.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay, that's the one
Battle
that.
for Bikini Bottom.
You know, honestly, I don't remember them when I was younger, like when the earlier ones were coming out. And like I played the one that was remade and it was fine.
I think we did a lot of the SpongeBob and like saw a lot of the SpongeBob games with the kids.
Yeah, too, watching the kids play them.
So they had like the one with the boats like crashing into each other.
Yeah.
I don't know which one that was.
Wait.
They made a lot of
Boating Bash on the Wii, I think it was, and DS.
Yes.
That was a good one. Yeah, I
Which
like
one?
when they
Which
do
one
this.
was the one? Wait, real quick. Which one was the one where you the battles were like with ketchup bottles or mayonnaise, and it was like Patrick Switwood. Like you could choose. You could play at like 4 characters at the time.
Underpants Bash? I don't remember that one.
That was fun.
Damn, maybe.
Oh,
that
the
was
one that
fun
was like
too.
a 2D? The
Yes.
one that was flat? Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that. I have
Yeah,
faint
we
memory
beat that
of it.
together. It was really good. I
was
like
cool.
the weapon choices.
Yeah, I like when they do that, where they kind of
That's
like
right.
give these games almost new life, bring it to attention. I think they 100% should do that to Simpsons Hit and Run. That would be.
Oh my God, now that's what we're talking about.
They
We
should
wanna
do
go
a
to
full
nostalgia.
remake of that game. Like
Simpsons Hit and Run should be 100% remade in
Yes.
Unreal Engine 5.
it shouldn't be like an
I
upgrade
want-
to the
Yeah,
game. It
just
should
remake
be
it completely.
do it again. Yes.
It was so good.
That
That's
was
what-
basically like if the Simpsons was GTA. And the funny thing is that they did make a lot of. Actually, when you look back, they made a lot of Simpsons games, but they never do anymore. So,
It's definitely
different
like
time.
a GTA in cartoon mode. like-
Sort of.
Yeah, they do a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah, that was frankly a top notch like game. That was really good. And I guess that's where I'm at. I mean, I feel like a lot of these older games, like the kid games that they did, like they were cool
Licensed titles.
at the time, but like I'm ready to see a next gen version of kid games, right?
Yes.
Like now that it's easier to make things that look better, right? Like how about I want to see the investment, right? I want little kids to be able to play a game that looks good and plays good. That's a SpongeBob game or something like that. Not
Yes.
just riding on the SpongeBob name, but like
I
that a
agree.
regular person be like, yo, did you play that new SpongeBob game? Come on, man, it's for kids. Nah, man, you got to play it. It's really, really good, right? Like
Yeah, I
since it's
get
Hit and
that.
Run at the time, that was like a GTA for The Simpsons, and it worked. And they pretty much stopped after that. Like, obviously, not that franchise.
I mean,
They did
like,
2 of
did
them or
little
whatever.
things here and there, but that's kind of.
But I'm talking about like other games, like SpongeBob or anything like that. They need to let's flesh out these game worlds, like these cartoon worlds and turn them into something that we
What
can
was
actually like.
that?
Now, don't expect like the next Paw Patrol to be like a AAA GTA style Rockstar.
You know what you want to?
They
You know
could make
what?
a really cool Paw Patrol
let
game.
me tell you what's. Yeah,
I
it
think
could
the
be.
problem is because they're making these games for kids and they have to be able to be playable, right? For them. So like
Yes.
they did I remember they did like Go Diego Go, Ni Hao Kai Land, Dora the Explorer.
That's a licensed game. Like, oh, they're just trying to sell stuff to kids, sort of thing.
They weren't that bad, but it's just like a walk
They weren't
straight pick
abysmal,
up.
but
You know,
it was
Yes.
like, oh my god! If you were not a kid who liked that cartoon, why would you even bother? I don't know.
yes, for sure. But
So
if you are into the cartoon,
But there's just a lot more effort put it. Like that depends still. Like there are obviously, if you look, there are plenty of games that are off just have the name and they're like just meant to sell things to people who like the show or cartoon. But
Yeah.
there are like the select few, again, like South Park or SpongeBob, that have been getting more respect for their video games lately and have been put more budgets to them. And even Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which can be compared to like a Tekken or Street Fighter, which has seen enormous success.
That's a beautiful game.
Yeah?
Gorgeous.
Dragon
It's
Ball
all
Fighter
hand
Z.
drawn. That's
So
the
good.
insane part. So
So what I was gonna say real quick is that as I was thinking about it, like, man, I don't know why this is not happening. They should do it. You know, the perfect place to prove out this point would
What?
be
what?
Nintendo.
fucking Fortnite.
Oh my gosh!
They put all the characters in there, but what's stopping them from making their island have different sections from different games, like SpongeBob
That
Bikini
would be
Bottom?
so
You go to a
dope.
different part of the island and you're underwater now. And you move slower or whatever, but you see all the SpongeBob Island.
That
you got
would
the
be
characters.
so cool.
Honestly, that would be amazing. However, they'll never do it. You know why? Because they're kids' cartoons and Fortnite T for teen game with guns and grenades and like they're not
No
gonna have
blood, though. There's
Mickey
no blood,
blowing up
though.
buildings and SpongeBob
know-
fucking shooting up
There's
buildings.
literally no.
You know how
no
many people
blood,
love
though.
SpongeBob?
You're gonna have Peppa Pig eating the meat of a warthog or a pig or something like that you find on the island.
Well,
That's just
it
gonna
will
scare
be
people.
its own. That's why it would be in its own little world. You know?
Yeah, they do creative islands too, where they just
Yeah,
release
that would be
worlds.
pretty cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. What was that Disney game that was really good that I was super into? They had like so many
Disney
Disney
Universe.
characters. Yes,
But it was
Disney
mad
Universe,
over, like, it
and
was
then
nostalgia, and that's it. Like
yes,
we played it
because
again.
I saw and it was so repetitive,
Yeah,
and it
playing
looked
it
so
now, it's
crappy.
like, Jesus Christ.
Like remake it, make it badass. You know?
Disney Interactive, people who made that, is shut down. So unless they really want to put the effort and hire a studio to make a full-blown new vision of it, that's probably not going to happen.
What
but they
I'm
could
really
do it though if
yeah,
they
they
wanted
could.
to, you know.
What I'm really waiting for is for Xbox to go ahead and bring Skylanders back. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
such a good
Skylanders
game.
was so good. I don't
And dude,
know why.
I love the actual figurines. They went nuts with it.
That's the problem.
That's
they went
they
too far.
took it
There
too
was like
far. Yes.
you can't like collectors like having a lot to collect, but at the same time,
Like this is
Not
impossible.
too much. You
it has
can't
to
make
be,
it to the
can't
point
be so
that
ridiculous.
yes, you can't make it to the
And
point
not
that
even
it's
characters
just
like,
so
oh god,
excessive.
that's
that
Mario. I love Mario. It's fucking Ninja Slice or something like that. Like who the heck is that sort of thing?
Yeah, but they were very creative with the way that they made a lot of these characters. The problem was that they were very creative. They made a lot of them. And even though they were all very unique when you think about
Dude,
it.
it was fun,
Extremely
dude.
unique. They
It
just
was
had to
fun.
like elongate the process and not just hit us with everything at once because it was too much and it loses the value of having the ones that you think are special because they were all special. They all looked really good, you know?
Yeah, and then remember they started doing the swaps, so like you have a top half
Yes, that was
and
really
a bottom
cool.
half. It's cool in theory, but then you lose characters, right? Like
You
now you're
lose
half
what
of two
you
people.
are. Yes, you lose what you and then you start losing the pieces because they
that's true.
disconnect.
Well, you got kids grabbing
You
them.
have kids
swapping
grabbing
them,
everything and forget
Throwing
it.
them,
They're,
launching them.
you know.
going to play the game. You're like, yo, where's the bottom half?
Yeah.
Where's the bottom piece?
Listen, I had my favorite ones, which were like hardcore
Trigger Happy
favorite
you
round.
loved.
Yes, Trigger Happy.
Spyro.
And then the one that looked like a tree.
Oh,
Oh
that's
yeah,
not Spyro.
I don't remember his name, but
yeah,
the
he was
Tree
so
boy.
cool. He had like this hammer with like spikes on it that he just pound down.
Dude,
like
I
his
can't
hand was
wait.
it.
Like this whole thing with Activision and like Call of Duty, people are sweating this thing. Dude, they just sold so much Call of Duty. What make like this bullshit? Just stop. They're gonna keep putting it everywhere. It doesn't make any sense. They're destroying every other industry known to mankind as far as making money on a game.
Oh my
Call
God.
of Duty does it.
Oh my God, that made me remember, but like not like a full blown thing, just a thing I remember that I like read about. But there's a rumor that PlayStation is going so far with trying to prove to these guys that they have Call of Duty and nothing else, that they're supposedly rumor is that Insider decide whether to cancel their PlayStation Showcase in July of next year just to prove the fact that they can't do anything without Call of Duty.
Well, that's stupid because they never had the Call of Duty in their presentation. So
Yeah,
that
this
makes
is
no sense.
this
And
is a
whoever started that
stretch.
rumor is ridiculous.
That is pretty crazy.
Like-
If it's true and they're even considering this,
Definitely not.
this is ridiculous.
Definitely not. And they didn't even do one for this year.
Yeah,
They didn't do a actual
presentation.
conference.
Mhm.
They did like the small shit that they've done, but they did not do a, hey, this is what we got.
Common.
I
Yes.
thought they were just going to wait until God of War came out because they didn't want people seeing the future and being like,
Mhm.
God of War looks like shit. But now God of War is out. You know what I'm saying? We all like it.
Yeah.
We're all happy with it. What's next? And I think they're just riding. They're not going to do it.
Maybe this is their excuse to not do it. They're gonna put it on Call of Duty when they've never really
They don't want to
presented Call
What
of
they
Duty.
don't want to do is they don't want to show that they have all these games being made
Mhm.
so that they could like keep talking shit about Call of Duty.
There's no way they're gonna use all the cards that they have to try to get this
It's for nothing.
to
You know
to
what? You know what
stop,
their real
but-
thing is? I believe now, after everything that's been going on, I think they just want to make sure that their cut doesn't change.
Yes.
I think they want to make sure
They're
that
trying to
Microsoft doesn't go
manhandle,
over there and be
yeah,
like, yo,
yeah.
now I'm getting 80%, you're getting 20, not 70-30.
Yeah.
Right? Or we're going to do it like Epic does it, and we keep 88%, and you keep 12%. Like, that is what I think they're actually afraid of, because Xbox is not taking it all. At this point, it'll be stupid for them to do it. It would be stupid because they would literally be conceding the title of the best FPS out there, sales wise, right? Because if they
Agree.
come off of PlayStation, now all of a sudden something else can rise. And then it won't be Call of Duty who's the big shot anymore. And all that money you spent on Call of Duty, in theory, right? In quotes, that's the big ticket, right? The value that will go away because all of a sudden people are like, well, Call of Duty's not here anymore. Now we love Battlefield more. Or some other random game comes up that's a military shooter. It's like, oh shit, this is way better than Call of Duty. Look at how better this looks. Right? So they're not gonna do it. So let's just get past this because just like you said, man, fuck, I want the other games that'll come from it. Skylanders,
Yes.
100% will
I
be
agree.
made. 100%.
I hope so.
New Crash, new fucking Spiral, all that other shit. They're gonna tap into all those legacy titles, and even like things like Guitar Hero. Like,
oh, that was so fun.
that'll be cool, man.
Oh man, that was so cool. And then the songs kind of, went to crap for us. But we
Yeah,
used to
but-
rock.
Dude, we had when Rock Band came out. Remember, we had the drums, we had everything. That shit was fun.
That was so
And there's
awesome.
so many of us now. We would have a really good time.
will have a
really
full-
good time.
Freaking band or
Yeah,
two.
absolutely.
And
Battle each other.
seriously, that
Battle the
would be
bands.
epic.
But like, there's just so much more that they're going to be able to get once they own them. All these dormant franchises that haven't been around, they just have the ability to do them. And versions of their franchises that they couldn't do before. Like if they want to make like a not Lego because that's the other thing, but like
Mega Blocks.
Mega
Halo.
Blocks or whatever version of Halo, right? Like
Oh, wow.
they don't really
Yeah.
have anybody do that, but Toys for Bob can make that. You
Yeah.
know, the people who make the
Well,
other
you
games.
can imagine also that they probably this Activision probably has a lot of ideas and things that they want to do, but like a lot of times budget doesn't play out, which they're gonna have a nicer budget,
You know what they should do? How dope would it be? You know, like Disney Infinity?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Xbox should make one with now everything that they own, their own like Xbox Infinity. Have little Master Chief
would
figure
be
that you put on there.
crazy.
Marcus.
Kind of like
Master
Smash.
Chief out.
How they do with Smash,
Yeah.
they bring all the
But
Nintendo.
it'll be a shared world
Yes.
game where they can play. You play the world as any of the characters. They interact with each other. That would be fucking dope.
That would be crazy. And not to mention that you had to buy the packs. there's so much money in there. It's not just buying the game. So the game can come with whatever characters it comes with, and then you can unlock some, and then there's the freaking special ones that you have to pay for. Dude, seriously, that would be
Future is
epic.
bright. That's a fact.
Agreed.
Now, Call of Duty Warfare 2.0, okay, has been selling phenomenally.
Yeah.
But you and Purpleberry, UC Money and Purpleberry, did a gameplay of Call of Duty Warfare 2.0.
They did.
Yes.
We did.
And there was something very frustrating, annoying, angering. The fact that you can only start as a male character.
Yeah, and there's no option to be a female. And we made a short about this.
We did.
We put it up just because it was so upsetting. Like, this is like, look, yeah, okay, so like you at this point, you have enough people playing games that you know that women make up a big chunk of the gaming population now. This is not like back in the day when we didn't have those statistics, right? There was still a lot of girls who played, but
Just they
it
weren't
wasn't
publicly
very
out
well
there, you know?
like publicized, and we didn't have the numbers to back it up. Right? So now we know for a fact. You can go on Twitch, you can go on anything out there and you see women playing games. This is a known freaking thing. Why are you going ahead and in 2022 making a game, putting it out and saying, "Oh, you men, you get to choose what flavor of man you want to be."
Flavor of man.
Right? Whatever. There's a couple of options you get to choose. And then once you go into the option, there's sub options in there, but no women. Okay. I don't care. Like, if you look at the comments of that video, there's this whole like women tea shit where they're saying women, and they put like a coffee cup up there.
Yes, I was dumbfounded, by the way. Like that people will react this way.
Well, I mean, I'm not dumbfounded. People are
I was.
shitty. But the point is that how easy it is to unlock them. It's like, dude, how about this?
It's
How about we
not
start
about-
with women
okay.
and let us unlock the dudes?
Exactly. There you go. I think that will ruffle a couple of feathers. I think that men will not be happy if they were just a bunch of female characters and they had to go ahead and play to unlock the male character.
And then even when they did, there was only a few male
Yes.
characters to be instead of a million
But
choices.
it wasn't like
right?
an obscene
Exactly,
amount or
that-
anything.
Say that again?
There wasn't like an obscene amount of women anyway. So it's not like, oh, you beat up a bunch of people. Okay, you unlock characters, but then to choose from 50 different kinds of women. You got like 2 women, 57 guys.
And the unlocking is random. That is correct, Madman. And the unlocking is random. So you can unlock like, I don't know how many dudes before you even get to unlock a female character.
The point is that it should never ever be that way.
Like, I don't understand
You
how
should-
hard it is to just have a female option.
That's what I'm saying. You literally already have female characters in there. Make them generic. Just put them in the same military suit. They don't have to look special. They just let me know that they're a girl so that if my daughter wants to play a war game and she says to herself, "Yeah, I want to play a war game, but I want to be a girl because girls are badass too. There's girls in the army.
Exactly.
There's women, who doing all this stuff. You have
Karate, everything.
karate. Like, come on, man. Like, how is this? Like, this is a huge oversight. Like, I don't understand how this is not a thing that people are talking about.
I agree. I don't understand, and that's why I said I was dumbfounded with the comments, and I'm really disappointed on Activision for releasing a
Classic
game like this.
Activision.
Like, I'm hoping that, because I know they had a lot of trouble with the hashtag #MeToo, right? And I'm hoping that once this whole deal with Xbox goes through, that they fix not just those problems, and they have a clean house, but that they also pay attention to these types of problems, because they are problems. I don't think that anybody with a daughter will feel okay saying, well, this game is for dudes. Like, she should. If your
look,
daughter wants to play, she should be able to, and she should have options.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not.
she still
Listen,
can.
if you
Like, it's
make
not
a,
like, oh, women are not allowed here.
well,
But
there's the thing. There's games that are only going to have male protagonists.
But
So
they
if
have
you're a
the
girl, you
women
play
there.
you
as
get
a
to play
male.
as Mischief
And then there's a game like Tomb Raider that if you're a dude, you got to play as a girl,
or
right?
a prop.
So that's
Suck
not
it
a
up.
problem. The problem is in a game where you're allowing creativity, where you can choose options, right? To be a man or a woman once you unlock them. Why is that not part of it automatically? Right? Why is that not just a standard thing for them? It doesn't make any sense.
I had to agree 100%. I hope that they just get this fixed up and not fixed per se, but just in the future.
Well, it's
just
already too
make-
little too late for this. The point is that they already did this, right? So even if they fix it, it's like, okay, well, finally you did it. But it's
like about time, you bastards. Like, you
And
know.
like you stated before, it's 2022. This is not something we should be talking about. This is not something that should be taking place. This is just common sense, right? Like, again, if it was the other way around, I think we will be hearing a lot from the
I don't know. It's like I don't see outrage happening over it, but
that's
think,
exactly what we just said. We don't understand
Yes.
why no one's talking about this. But I guarantee you, if Call of Duty had all of the men locked behind playing before you get to play as a dude and they were all girl options, 100% it would have been a story. But again, we're still in that same shit where it's all pretend, right? It's all pretend
Yes.
outrage. All these media outlets, it's all pretend outrage. Oh, women should be more properly shown in video games until nobody's talking about it anymore. And then that goes away.
Yes,
So since
everybody
it's not a hot
states
topic,
something
they're
when it's
done.
when it's something hot and they have something to say, but when they see something, they just want to brush it
Because
under.
you know why? They're
Yes,
afraid.
like, honestly.
They're afraid of all the comments of
just like the ones we're
the ones
getting.
that got on our short, where people are like belittling the fact that women are playing games and they want to have a option to play as someone who looks like them.
And listen, I don't care about the comments, but it's very they are very disrespectful, right? With that said, my opinion is mine. And I will
everyone has their own
never
opinion.
shut my mouth for anybody.
Dang.
Well, it's a shared opinion, I believe, through a lot of people, and there shouldn't. The whole point is that other outlets, big outlets, places who have a voice that can make change and demand change, should be acknowledging this. So this is what you do. If you are listening to this, go check out the short that we made. Okay, where we have a little. It's a short. It's 1 minute.
1 minute long.
1
yes.
minute discussion on this.
We actually reposted the short.
Yeah, we put it again. We literally had to change. We put it up again because initially it picked up a lot of traction and then it kind of stopped. And the reason is that we were looking at it, and at one part, the front page, the way we put the thumbnail for the short was like generic, right? It said, "I am pissed," right? And in front of the Call of Duty thing. So you would see that and be like, what is that? But for whatever reason, it took that thumbnail out and put it to girls play Call of Duty as well, right? Or Call of Duty 2.
Which put the video to a halt.
Yeah, and then it stopped.
Yes.
Because that was the first image you could see.
As soon as the image was changed, it just went flat.
Yep. So that's just how sad it is that people read that and they're like, I'm not going to click on that video because
Like,
I
who
don't
cares
care
in their
about the
eyes?
fact that girls like this game, right? Like it's just wild. So if you're listening to this, shoot over, check out our shorts. There's a whole playlist of shorts, so it's easy to find. And go to the Call of Duty video that has more views than the other Call of Duty video. There's 2 shorts because we reposted it. And just put a comment in there if you feel like women should have the ability to play as women if they want to, just like dudes, right off the rip without having to
Make a scene for it,
go and unlock it, right? So go do that. Take a quick second, watch that, and put a comment, and let us know you came from here.
We hear the nonsense from the haters, but we will love to hear from the people that feel the way that we do.
Yeah, let us know we're not alone in the thought. All right.
All right.
Next topic.
Yeah. So Pixar's next movie, Elemental, gets first trailer. Now, honestly, at first, I don't know. I was like, it seems interesting, but I mean, the trailer looks really nice. Animation looks really nice. So basically, here's a synopsis of the movie. It tells the story of a character named Ember, a girl made of fire who moves to Element City. There, people made of fire, water, air, and land all live together. But fire people are, of course, considered too different from everyone else. But then Ember meets Wade, a man made of water, and everything changes for them as they figure out how their two elements can safely mix. Ooh, that's the official synopsis. So it comes out on November 17th. No. The trailer came out November 17th,
already,
and it comes out next year.
Oh,
yeah, I know that'd be a little weird, but still. So it looks really good. And it looks very different from other Pixar movies. It almost like a 2D-ish look to it at the same time. And it honestly is very appealing. It's very intriguing. There's not too much the trailer reveals, but I think it's a good, like it almost shows you how Pixar's getting very experimental lately. Well, with Turning Red and Luca and stuff like that, and Soul. So, what do you guys think about this direction Pixar's headed in?
I mean, I gotta tell you, man. For me, it's I don't hear a synopsis for one of their movies like this and be like, oh my god, I can't wait. Like, it's so visual for me. I gotta see how it looks. I gotta see if I'm gonna like how it looks.
There is a trailer. The animation
I did not see the trailer yet, so it's
Pixar.
So it's hard to go and kind of comment on it because I don't know what it looks like. But I mean, obviously, I'm all for creativity. You know, I'm all for them trying other things and seeing what it comes out. You know, how it comes out and how it looks.
Yeah, even after Spider-Verse, everyone has been trying to push the boundaries of animation and do different things, which that's a great thing. So, because they started to look kind of the same. They have the established Pixar look, cartoonish characters and realistic environments. So, you know, seeing them do different things, it's a welcome change for sure. So, yeah, I don't know. I had to say, I think that looks really cool. And seeing the other stuff that Disney has been a part of, like it's Disney's released a movie called Strange World, which again looks different from a lot of other Disney movies. And it's actually a sci-fi movie, which is their first science fiction movie since 2003 with Treasure Planet. So they've been trying to do different things lately. And I can respect that 100%. So whether it's good or not even that great, the fact that they try to do something different that isn't the same old thing is a welcome change. And I take that over more Toy Story sequels. So, you know, that's good.
Well, Disney for me is very hit or miss. They kind of like, sometimes they push things, they look good, and then you're like, oh, well, that was a disappointment and a waste of my
Last
time.
Dragon, I was so excited for that. I thought it looked like super cool. Almost looked like Avatar: Last Airbender a little bit, very action-y. And I was like, this is actually going to be a great movie. It was trash. However, Encanto, I thought the trailers looked meh. However, I really liked the movie. So, yeah.
It wasn't trash.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie.
The Dragon movie was good.
I enjoyed the story too.
Yeah, the story was well done.
Well, this is the difference. It's not a watch over and over and over and over again for me. Like,
which I think most movies are going away from that.
Done. Yes.
There's not a lot of movies that are like, you know, so good that I want to rewatch.
Like, I mean,
it. Like
there's
Classics,
like Aladdin or Lion King or Beauty and the Beast, which have that rewatchability. But
I don't even think those ever did. I never did it. I watched them over and over again in the sense like I watched them multiple times throughout, like, you know, maybe months or weeks.
Meanwhile, a Goofy movie.
Yep. Well, yeah, the Goofy movie was one of those movies that we could watch over and over again. Encanto was one.
Now, I don't know
Peanut
if I would.
movie was one.
Oh, the Peanut movie was really good.
I like the
but
movie.
When I think about it, I don't know, like, if it wasn't, like, we're putting them on because the kids love it, right? Mm-hmm. But we get to enjoy it as well because it was a well-made movie. Mm-hmm. Now, had I just seen the movie, I don't think I would have rewatched them, like The Proposal.
That was a great movie. But at the same time, how many movies do the kids watch that we won't put on over and over again, or that they don't want to see over and over again, right? It still qualifies the same way, where it's just a matter of how good the movie actually is.
Next up, Andor becomes the very first Disney Plus original to come to cable and Hulu, and will do so on November 23rd. So, specifically, the first 2 episodes of Andor It will be hitting cable on Disney networks such as ABC and Freeform, and I'm sure various others, but I just can't remember their names off the top of my head.
Did you
and
just make
Hulu.
that up? Sounds like
And-
you just made up the idea that it'll come to various others.
No, like Freeform and ABC. I remember that
giving people
specifically, but I
hope.
can't remember the other ones. But if it's owned by Disney, there's a very high chance it's coming to there as well. And Hulu, which means you'll be able to watch the first 2 episodes there. It's still
Which
not
is
the full
also
season.
owned by
It's basically
Disney.
to push people to watch it. Because while it starts super high, they have been getting a little lower the viewership. So due to the critical acclaim, however, Disney felt that they needed to expand its horizon a bit to bring more people onto Disney Plus because they believed in the show.
Well, obviously, this is actually going to make the most sense for them to do because they own other ways for people to watch it. So you bring it to Disney Plus first so that the hardcore sign up to subscribe to the subscription, right? And they can watch it first. And then after it's been out for a while, you take it to the rest of the world who is not signed up. And you still make your money and you still, you're coming out with new shows all the time. So you're still keeping the people who came in to subscribe.
Kind of like how Apple TV did with Spirited. It was in theaters.
Oh, it did get a theatrical release on November 11th.
Yes.
And it came to streaming November 18th, yesterday.
Exactly.
And that's pretty fire. So, yeah. I think that they've been doing that. Actually, Netflix, I never thought about it, but they do that a lot. Like, they confirm that, yes, it's coming to theaters for blah, 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 but it's also coming to streaming like a month later or something like that. Like, the new Pinocchio is going to be doing that. It's official.
Well, I love what
the Gray
Apple
Man
TV
did it
did.
with theatrical and streaming.
I love what Apple TV did because they did both, but they didn't make the people that signed up for Apple TV wait ridiculously
Like
long.
Disney.
Like it was just a week later, and it's like, okay, I can wait another week, no problem. But where it kicks in is when they try to hold you off for a month, for 2 months. That's excessive. Like you have people that are
trying
subscribed.
to bring. They have to make money too. They're not just like, oh, it'll come in 2 days to the streaming service because they'll make more money in general. If let's imagine that they make over $2 billion at the box office in theaters. That's still more than it being for free. Not obviously you have to pay for the service, but you're not paying for that specific movie. You're just paying for everything. So you'll just get that as well. What having a movie on a streaming service will do is if you hadn't considered getting that service, you'll be like, I think I'll actually pay for subscription now. But you're not paying for that movie.
Listen,
When
I
it's
know
in
they
theaters,
need to
it's
make
exclusively
money,
that
but
movie made
leave
blah,
it
blah,
up
blah,
to
blah.
them, and they will make all the money. They will make all your money. They will make everybody's
Yeah,
money.
right.
You understand that? That's the problem. So if you already are, because these subscriptions, they started off much lower than where they are right now, right? So as it keeps on going up, we also expect a lot more, which Netflix is giving. But to hold a movie for 30 freaking days, that's ridiculous. That's too long.
I mean,
in
it's
my
just
opinion.
it's just unnecessary, right? Because it's almost like arbitrarily holding it for no reason. It's going to come anyway. Just make it sooner, and you're still having the same impact. The people who can't wait are still
Will go
going
watch
to go
it, yes.
watch it, and the people who could are going to do it. But you also don't want them to even just lose interest in even seeing it,
Exactly.
right? Because you give too much time, and all those people who saw it in theaters tells us how it's not that good, and then we don't even bother watching it.
It's like Disney Plus with Dancing with the Stars. It's been their lowest
rated
season. Yes, because they made it Disney Plus exclusive. And that was really messed up that they did that. It should be a situation maybe like that where it's the episodes are maybe a week delay or a couple of days delay, and if you want to see it on Monday night, you watch it on Disney Plus, right? And then you get the people that can't wait to sign up, but everybody else who it's okay waiting or says, I can't get Disney Plus right now, or I don't want to get Disney Plus, they're still watching your show because you want people to watch your freaking shows. Right? You put a lot of money into it. Dancing with the Stars is not a cheap show to run. I can only imagine,
Mhm.
with all the costumes and the
Absolutely.
jewelry and just setting up that stage. I can't imagine that it's cheap.
Oh, yeah. You heard that, folks? I don't know. I think that change is a hard but beautiful thing. It has to happen. And I think that with Andor, this is a step in the right direction. They should do this with more of their streaming movies and shows. Give us a taste of it. Just a little taste on other media formats, and I think that it will do so much better for Disney Plus as a whole.
I agree.
Now, Yellowstone, the season 5 premiere managed to pull in 12.5 million viewers. And it's the biggest, the biggest viewership number for a series of this in 2022, and that's pretty impressive.
That's a lot of people watching live TV.
I'm so freaking pumped because the next episode will be coming
tomorrow.
out soon. So, like, it's such a good show. I love it.
Really is,
yes,
though. Like,
I thought
really good.
we would be able to wait until like it was like because if it was weekly, we would wait for all the episodes to be available so we could just watch in peace.
No,
but
that never works out. It takes too long.
No,
We really took a hard stand.
yes,
too.
we
We're
did. We did. Nothing can break us.
If it doesn't come on one shot, we're not gonna watch.
Think about it. In a month,
And
you'll get
we
4
watched it.
episodes. That's pathetic. So yeah, I mean that's assuming that it starts in the beginning of the month.
Yeah,
So,
but
you know.
they're so good. They're so good. I mean, actually, we put up 2 videos on it already, right? We put up.
Yes, we did
put
a
up
short. Yes.
Giving again just like a 1-minute feedback on it, or kind of our little quick mini review on the first 2 episodes and what we liked about it. But obviously, it's Yellowstone, which we're obsessed with. So we also did
We can't say
deep
enough.
dive. We did a her, him, and a Mike for the season 5 premiere. Go check it out. It's really good. It's just a phenomenal show. Like, there's so many characters and they are all intriguing, right? They're all well
Yes.
done, all very well developed. No one in the show, you're like, oh, why are we talking to these people? Even like random cowboys they're talking about, which they've always had in the show, but they didn't focus big things on.
Yeah.
But when they talk about them a little bit, or there was a love interest for one of the cowboys that was at the party, right? And it's like, oh snap, what's gonna happen here, right? Like, it still did it. Or when they had the whole side piece with Jimmy and his relationships and all that stuff going on, like, dude, they can reach into any pocket and find something good to show us.
Not to mention, they established that this has been a long-running family line, and if Yellowstone ends, they'll just rely on their prequels and eventual sequels and stuff like that.
Now, Madman, why will you say words like that? If Yellowstone ends,
It's a story. It'll eventually come to it. It's not going to be like it's not going to be like The Simpsons, which runs for like 30 years.
not right now. Maybe it will last 30 years, Madman.
No way.
They're on season 5. We don't need it to go more than 10 seasons.
Bro, the dad will like John Dunn will definitely be dead in like 30 years. So like,
well, that's just unnecessary.
I'm just saying that it's not logistically gonna run too long. It's
But
a
you're just
story.
putting
I know.
It'll
bad
begin
opinions out there, bro.
and it'll end.
But
Poor John, Kevin Costner. He's a
That poor
a
guy.
landmark to
But yeah,
our
I'm just saying.
yeah,
it's just-
he's what,
acting
like
world.
40?
40, 50, 60.
now remember, these
40, 50, 60, 70,
it.
maybe
One of those
85.
ages.
maybe 100. Yeah, we gotta remember that sometimes the idea of a show keep going for like mad long is better than it actually is. Because there are shows that can pull it off, but a lot of times it gets worse over time, or the story can feel stretched just to gain viewers or money.
Listen, when you
if it
have
ends,
a
it'll
show,
end on a good note. That's the
when
hope.
you have a show on its opening night with over 12 million people watching, right? And you are making, while the show is running, branches of the show, I think they're all right.
And I think it'll, even if the main one ends, I'm saying that the universe will keep going in many different ways. Prequels, spin-offs, maybe the Cowboys will go do on their own thing.
Well, we're
is
still
already
waiting.
confirmed.
We still haven't jumped into it. We want to 100% watch 1899 and then 1923
I'm
when
pretty
it
sure it's
comes out.
1883.
whichever one it is.
You
1800.
know the numbers. You know the
They're
numbers.
numbers.
One,
They're
two,
numbers.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
But like, that's still something we want to jump into. Obviously, time is the issue, but we will get to it. But look, they're coming out again today or tomorrow.
No, tomorrow, yeah.
And it's gonna be dope because
Heck yeah.
it is dope. Love the story. Everything is going really, really well.
Yeah.
So real quick, I don't know if you have this on your list, but I wanted to bring it up because me and Doodle really liked the heck out of this game. Team Ninja confirms that
Oh,
they're
Ninja
making a new
Gaiden.
Dead or Alive
Really?
reboot.
Woo!
Hey, for next gen
New
systems.
Dead or Alive reboot. And I'm really excited because Dead or Alive
I'm here
3
for it.
was
For sure.
amazing.
It was so epic.
so epic,
So
man.
epic.
The
I
story
loved
mode was so
it.
epic too.
Yes, the music in there, everything
oh my
was
God.
perfection.
That Aerosmith,
It was crazy.
it was really,
Yo,
really
I'm
good.
loving this podcast. We're making so many like old school references when it comes to these games
I
that
don't know, Dead or Alive. I feel like I remember Dead or
absolutely.
Alive. I mean, they did like funk. I think I played a 3DS spinoff, but I don't know. It's one of those franchises where it's been dormant for a while. Like, what was I think they did Dead or Alive 6, but that was like messy.
Well, but that's the problem. So the real number
The
that
great thing
matters
is,
is Dead or
yeah.
Alive 3.
So making a remake of that epic game.
well, not a
they're doing
remake, a reboot.
They're
Meaning
doing a
starting
reboot.
it fresh,
But when
but
you do a
without the
reboot,
chains of the previous sequels that were garbage.
yeah, well, when you're doing a reboot like they're doing, what they're basically saying is, all right, we know that somewhere along the line we lost our way. We got
They
crazy.
did.
We
They
started
did.
doing weird shit. We relieved like Dead or Alive core, gave you like 3 characters, and then you did the upgrade. It's like, come on, man. Dead or Alive 3 was amazing.
The
It
pinnacle,
still is amazing if you
it's
load
peak.
it up.
Oh yeah, it's Xbox backwards compatible,
yeah,
right?
on Xbox Series X, it's a 4K. It looks
Dang.
amazing. It plays amazing. But
Fire.
come on, I'm ready for that next gen, man. Look, Tekken 8, dude. Come on,
Oh,
bro. You
it
saw
looks
that?
So good.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Tekken
Yeah,
8?
now
You saw that
Tekken-
trailer
Tekken never had, like,
lingering in your
It's
mind?
lingering. It's
Oh,
lingering.
it's lingering.
Yes.
Yeah, Tekken never
It's
had that
you know what's
problem
funny? As
where
soon
it
as
was
you
like,
said
oh,
that,
things are going to for Tekken. Like, in Street Fighter, it's never. I think Street Fighter 6 is going to be the biggest turn, the biggest like 180 for the series, but it's never gone badly. Mortal Kombat, that like the first 3 games were like you could call it the original trilogy, was a landmark in fighting video games in the whole entire industry of gaming itself, pushing the boundaries. And fun fact, the original Mortal Kombat actually introduced the rating system because it was so obsessively gory that they had to make some sort of like 18 and up warning. So that's when the rating system was introduced for video games. Yeah, I bet you learned something
I
today.
guess they didn't go too hard on it when I was like a young child playing Mortal Kombat on my Sega Genesis.
Yes.
Ripping heads off.
Oh my God.
That
so
game
gory.
is so graphic.
It's
crazy.
So crazy.
It's insane.
However, after part 3, they tried to jump into the 3D transition, and it all went to shit. Like, it didn't even become a fighting game. It became like almost like a weird story hybrid game through like the Xbox PS2, GameCube generation, and then it just got messy until the Xbox One and PS4 generation, where it went back to roots and released Mortal Kombat X or Mortal Kombat 10, whatever you want to call it, and that brought the series back to its glory days in gorgeous graphics, and it brought Mortal Kombat back to what it always was, a truly great fighting game. And Mortal Kombat 11 continued that, and 12 is in development.
Well, I would say this: every other fighting game has kind of had its day to come back to the spotlight, and Dead or Alive is due. Go back to the drawing board. Go back to when Dead or Alive 3 was coming out, and it was top notch. Excuse me. Had some of the best maps, like the best stages. Oh my God, the forest. You remember that beautiful forest with the beautiful flower petals falling down and around you? And when they hit, the flowers would move and react to the hits. Oh my God, stunning. Or when you were up in that big, what it was like
I remember, yes.
like a Chinese looking building. I forget. I don't know why I'm.
It fall through.
blanking.
Yeah, I remember.
You kick them through the wall, fall out the building, fly down. Oh my God. It was so epic. Or you battle up in the mountains and fall down. Oh my God. It was so dope. They were so epic. And they kind of lost their way. And even if they still had some of those things in the later entries, because they lost their way, it kind of lost the hype for it. So we never really continued on with the idea of checking that stuff out. But I'm really hopeful. Dude, you were going to say something?
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden as well is also getting rebooted, supposedly, from Team Ninja. And this is a new era of bringing back old games. This is a good thing that they're doing right now.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're doing that. There's certain things that should be present, you know?
Well, when you think about the ability to make a good game using the power of the old, like those old systems, right? Like if you can make something truly really good and you were limited so much, imagine if you go back to that mindset, right? Go back to when you made that epic game and now you say, okay, what were the things that we wish we could have done, but we couldn't do?
And what were the things that made that game great? You know?
And just explore from there, right? Like go out from there and add to it. I'm really excited. Again, you know, I'm waiting for the real next gen to start, and you know, when you look at something like Tekken 8, like there's no denying when you see that game, that's like, okay.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
That's next gen.
The image that came to my mind when you said, if I'm still remembering the trailer, was the rain. It was so freaking epic.
Realistic.
It's beautiful, man. Like that's what we need. That's what I can't wait for. I want to see where most games are doing that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. 100%.
And also Team Ninja is making an original new game, supposedly like a 19th century action RPG, which this is a new IP, but like it's not like a revitalization of a previous franchise or something like that. Team Ninja looks like they're going to be doing some interesting stuff. So,
well, I don't know also if you heard, but there was a rumor going on that for Ninja Gaiden that they're bringing on Platinum to make the new Ninja Gaiden. Did you?
I'm not surprised at all. I mean, Platinum is known for their very chaotic style of games, and I think that they'd be a good fit for Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna use their good team, then yeah. If they're gonna use their A team and go out there and really, you know, put in the work to make it really good, then yeah, absolutely, it'll be worth it because the Platinum when they're using a good system, like not a good system, but like a powerful system, they can actually put some energy into making it, you know, look as good as it should, you know?
I agree 1,000%. This is exciting. I'm excited for what's coming next. Bring it on! And last, but certainly not least, the Lego Movie 3 is confirmed to be in production at Universal.
Nice.
Now, to give you guys some background, obviously there was the first one in 2014, which at first you hear Lego Movie,
that's
okay,
crazy,
it's time
right?
to promote Lego sets, but honestly, it's a great movie, the original Lego Movie.
Everything is awesome.
It is awesome.
It had a catchy song. It was like the first time a non-Disney song really got into people's heads.
I remember.
And it had a genuinely good story, very heartfelt. The animation, it's super impressive, even today. And it's definitely the best Lego movie out there.
It came out on February.
Yeah, February something of 2014. Let me look at the date. It was definitely 2014.
Yeah, it was really cool. Now, I didn't like the second one as much as I liked the first one, February 7th.
All right.
I didn't like the second one as much, but the second one was still good.
Oh, we're jumping ahead a bit. If you remember, that came out, and then 2017 was the Lego Batman movie, which had the Lego Batman from the original, and he had his own solo adventure.
Instantly,
by the way, there's no better
Batman ever.
It was a great, again, another great movie.
Yeah,
it didn't feel like attached to the original, but felt like its own standalone story. That had the same. It's the same Batman.
It's the Lego cinematic universe.
The Lego Movie 2 confirmed that it's canon. After in the beginning of Lego Movie 2, they is right after the Duplos come in and they're like, wait, where the heck is Batman? He's like, oh gosh, he's on like his own solo adventure or something. And like, oh god. So,
now, do you guys think that they had the Batman movie like planned out, or does this happen because he was so freaking good?
I think this was probably planned. Like they probably figured like, we like to do something.
Maybe, or
Dude,
people
I don't
really
know.
took
He
to
was
him.
freaking amazing,
That was a great job, actually.
And the thing about it is that Batman is like so freaking like the actual Batman is so dark and so like whatever. And this Batman, the Lego Batman, has this like unnecessary arrogance that
It's so dope.
Like, it's
He's
freaking hilarious.
He's the same
like
Batman, but because it's Lego, we can fight. Like it's funny.
It's very funny.
Because he does it in such a way where he's doing the same thing, but he's giving that arrogance to it that makes you laugh, right?
Yeah.
And it's really funny.
He's really funny.
He's so good.
And then in that same year, in 2017, there was a third Lego movie, the Lego Ninjago movie, which was a completely different thing that was not canon to the first two Lego movie or the Lego movie or Lego Batman. But if you remember that one, that was a pretty decent movie on its own right.
I was just thinking,
That's pretty good.
As you're saying the names, they're coming to mind, and I enjoyed that a lot, actually.
The Lego movies have been pretty consistent. The first three were great, honestly. Lego Movie 2, I wish I could say the same. I don't know. I liked it. I think the cliffhanger at the end of the original was funny. I liked it how it ended. It wasn't like cliffhanger like, oh God, I need to see what happens. But Lego Movie 2 felt like he was just trying to conclude and finish what the first one left off of, and had a lot of new ideas, did a lot of fun stuff, but honestly, it didn't really come together for me much.
Well, the Lego
movie... It was
movie,
the weakest Lego movie, 100%.
The Lego movie was so big. It was such an unexpected movie. Because
no one expected it.
It was so deep when you got to the end and you realized what was going on. It was freaking phenomenal the way that they put this movie
or
together.
Or anything like that. Like, even like the LOL movie or something like that is. It's just a movie that uses the world and the idea of Lego to create a really dang good story. And I mean, the Oscars didn't want to acknowledge that, but honestly, it's still a really good movie. I think Lego Movie 2 kind of lost its charm a bit. And overall, I think that while the Lego movies are good, this third one, this is Lego Movie 3, to be fair. This is going to be right after part 2. It's going to be the Emmett and his friends continuity, not Lego Batman and Ninjago. So I think I'm excited for this. There's no release date, but it'll be coming down the road.
Yeah, I think there were some memorable characters in the Lego 2 movie. Remember that unicorn, Unikitty or something like that?
He was in part 1 as well.
Listen, this is the thing. There are a lot of characters that were really memorable, but the problem that people have is that when you come off the first one, you have these expectations that you set of what you think the movie's going to be. Unnecessary expectations. The movie's the movie, and it doesn't have to be as good or as, landmark type movie as the first one, because the first one was that, right? We don't have to. There's like this idea that you're supposed to replace the first movie, right?
But that's when things get sickening,
like it's
and like tiring. You know,
like it's like,
can't
dude,
do the same.
It's another movie. It's different, but guess what? Part 1 still exists. You're free to go watch it. It's the same thing with video games, right? Part 1, part 2. Yeah, part 2, part 3, they're going to be different experiences. They may not rise to that same, this is the first time we ever seen this in part 1, right?
Yeah.
But it's like they're so good in their own right, just like God of War 2, right?
Oh,
God of War 1 was such a big landmark game because it was so different. You never saw Kratos like this. They never told a story like this for God of War.
It was such a boss.
And now, it's not as shiny anymore. It's not this shiny new thing. But it's still a continuation of the story. It's still a great experience. Is it as big if I'm sitting there ranking the games? No, God of War 2018 is a better game than the new one. And not because of
the second one
how much more. Yeah, it's not how much more better the first one was, but the impact that the first one had.
Like the Lego movie.
Just like the Lego movie.
Like Lego Batman and Lego Ninjago had no pressure because they were standalone stories. They carried the Lego, and Batman was the same one from Lego movie, but they were two different movies. You can respect them for that. Like, sequels, they're so divisive. There are times where they can be definitively better. Like Christopher Nolan's The Batman Begins, a really good Batman movie, but The Dark Knight is what fucking smashed it and blew up. And Godfather, and one of the greatest movies in cinema, Part 2, smashed it. Spider-Man, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man was a big blow, like a humongous a landmark in pop culture. Spider-Man 2 is widely considered even better, and still some might say the best Spider-Man movie of all time. That and Spider-Verse. So,
but it doesn't take away the first movie, right?
No.
So the first movie still has value in its own right because it was the story that set it up.
But that's
However,
what I think.
What do all three movies have in common? Their third movies blew garbage. Dark Knight Rises, critically panned in comparison. It was not bad, but it wasn't as good. The Godfather Part 3, infamous for being a humongous step down. Spider-Man 3, so many villains, it jumbled up and was a whole bunch of nonsense, mainly because of Venom, and it was just almost like a toy.
But that's okay because it continued the story.
Now, some people think Spider-Man 3 didn't deserve the hate because supposedly some people actually really like Part 3, but in comparison to 1 and 2, it definitely was not as good.
Yeah, but again, like we said, it doesn't take away Part 1 and 2, right? Part 1 and 2 still exist.
Well, I think the biggest thing for Part 1 that cannot be recreated is it was just a Lego movie, right? And the thing that made it so epic, aside from that super catchy song, was the ending, right? We never saw it coming. So you
Yep.
can't have that same ending again.
Yeah, because you'll see it like it's not unique anymore.
Throughout the movie, it was just Legos created and making and playing and doing different things. Like, you know, I'm saying playing because of the ending of the first movie, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that second Lego movie stands on its own as a great movie
That's
too.
always going to be the issue when you break ground. When you break ground on something new, it's not new anymore. You already broke the ground, right? So anything after that is just adding on to it or a continuation of it, but you're never going to have the same impact. All those movies and stuff that like the second one was so good, typically is because the first one wasn't that good. It was good enough to warrant another movie or another show or whatever it is, but the first one wasn't that good, so the second one did smash it. You know what I'm saying? So
True.
at the end of the day, you know, that's what it is. So we're looking forward to this new one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's going to be good.
Yep.
And with that, it was
Is
our
it?
amazing podcast for the week.
Number 18.
Exciting.
I know. I'm excited. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Mark, my man, out.